If you like make you minimize, or you like to maximize, I like to analyze. If you like make you compromise, so monkey they walk up, I put the job. Life is no balance at all. All fingers are not equal. Life in no balance. Oh yeah, make we check and balance. As we jolly they dance, many people they for plans. This life in no balance. We the hustle they find balance. Some people sit down for house, they walk on out to the yana pata. Oh no no, some seafood chop. Oh no no, many no seafood chop. Oh no no, some day for the top. Oh no no, many people they for street they talk. Monkey they walk up and put the chop. Life is no balance at all. All fingers are not equal. Monkey they walk up and put the chop. Life is no balance at all. All fingers are not equal. Oh no no, some seafood chop. Oh no no, many no seafood chop. Oh no no, someday for the top.
Oh no no, something. Oh, am I live? I think I'm live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome once more to Ginger Media TV. This is Mazes, okay, speaking to you live and direct from the ground zero. So this evening we are going to, what do you know what today is? Today is Friday. It's Friday, the end of the week. Only 2 more weeks and the month is gone. So people, go and inform the yard. Inform your yard people. Go grab your own drink. My own drink is coming. I just added my tequila. Tequila, not tequila, tequila. I like it. Mojito. These are when there is no vice beer and when there is no water. These are the ones that I do prefer to have. So people, where are you watching me from and what? Obviously, where are you watching me from? It would be nice to know where you are watching me from. Let's get the comment section busy before we crack on today, people. Once more, I am still your host, Mazi Ezoke. Now, we are going to, in this hangout as usual, know where you are watching me from. Let's see.
Reason why I am doing this is because I want to happiness more. I'm going to happiness more.
So, people, let's get the ball rolling. And to do that quickly this evening on this Friday hangout on every part of us, we will say once more, I have, before we have done things in the past, in the future, but we are going to do things in the past participle of it.
You will be a past participant. Yeah. Hey! Ebu agomia. One day we go me. Say yesterday you are a past.
Yesterday you are past.
So very soon you shall be past.
Party. Simple.
One day. Say tickle. One nana so you ba na ebuli. On a mek.
So don't provoke.
You will be a
Provoke me, I'll make you a part. If you provoke me, I will make you a part. Particle. No, it's not. Part participle. No. Party tickle. Oh dear. Samson is watching me from Baltimore, MD, that is the city of Maryland, the United States of America. So, people, good evening, everyone. Also, for yourself is watching from Ghana. Are you relocating? I thought the other time you're watching from Mozambique, but today you're watching from Ghana. Oh, dear. So, everything we have done in the past is in the past. Now we must be doing things in the past party. We must be doing things in the past party people because as it is because things are not going all
Our
right.
economic is doing like this. It's doing like this.
So because things are doing like this, things are doing like this. I'm not telling you a lie, though. Honestly, I'm not telling you lies. If you're
When
telling
my
me lies,
7-year-old grandson called me and said, Grandpa, tell me the truth. Why did they call you Liar Mohammed?
are you also liar, Mohammed? Are you also lying? I don't know. But one of the good signs of knowing that your IG, that is the Inspector General of Police, is doing a fantastic job is when you start seeing him, he's losing weight like Mazda.
Are we likely to use a different approach in the fight against insecurity, especially kidnapping, which is a big issue now, sir?
No, I have just seen the IG. I think he is still losing weight. So I think he's working very hard.
So if you're working very hard like Mazda is okay, and you're not losing weight and your belly is coming out, you don't have any six pack, even 3.5, 2. Mine, or sometimes I look at it, I'm confused if it's 1.5 or 2. But again, one alone is even good. So if you're doing all these things and you're not losing weight, that means people, you are in the future. You need to come down to the.
You will be a past participant. Yeah. Hey! Ebu agomia. One day we go me. Say yesterday you are a past. So very soon you shall be past. Party. One day, say tickle.
So you can imagine yesterday you was past. Today you're not present, but you are past. Tomorrow you will be what? You will be tickle. And once you become tickle, I will tell you the party will start to go.
All right. Have you voted?
I'm voted, yeah.
Okay, so
I'm happiness, I'm voted, yeah.
tell me your feeling after voting today.
Yeah, after voting, I'm feeling okay. What I want, I get it on the result. I'm getting the party I want is the one going on. Thank you for that.
What are you expecting from these people you voted?
I'm voted, they can do what you want, and then when they want, what they want, inshallah, we're happiness more.
So inshallah, your happiness more. Mazi is happiness more. Everybody is happiness more. And that is the way we will be counting when we happiness more. Because when you happiness more, you count. You do like Imo State APC. When they count the amount of people standing on the line, they get to 200. All you hear is 201, 202, 203, 315, 417, 718. That is how they count. You see them jumping, and everybody is clapping. Oh, yeah, we have 1,001,000 people there. So before we do much and come back again, this is once more Mazes, okay, it's Friday Hangout, where we have conversations in a very relaxed atmosphere. Again, check it out. We are still the dot nation, the dotted people, proudly on your dot. You don't like it? Yeah. Make sure you go to Asokoro where there is light, where they have electricity, or not where they use generator. Look for a transformer house there, the one that has no gates, no blocks, and do the needful, because we will remain the dotted people, and proudly so. Spare parts, yes. Biafran boys, as they call us in Abuja, when they have trouble among themselves, they bring you in. You say yes. When they ask you a question to answer, you call me a 5%. I say proudly so. Suddenly, you called me the that in the circle. I say, yeah, bring it to mana. If they go to other room, the that is there for other room. I know where it fit up. Someone was saying to the mass, I need a customized half shimmy. I said, not only half shimmy, na dross I go do. On that note, I will say thank you once more and welcome. If you haven't subscribed to this platform, please do. I'm the Friday Hangout. We look at serious issues, try as much as possible. Not be Nigeria, we'll not go kill ourselves for Nigeria. We try as much as possible how to make, ease tension by the way we present things here. While we do not, in doing so, we must also not lose sight of what we are doing. Now, the first topic I want to address this evening is where you have the president saying he does not want to leave office a failure. I say, sure. Have they started marking the exam? So meaning something is already telling him that well, light are light. Everything is not too good. Everything is not too good. So maybe something is already doing something somewhere, and the truth is beginning to. Maybe he's beginning to feel it, and he's now talking that he doesn't want to leave a failure. Let's listen to that argument.
To do everything possible to address the security challenges facing the country, expressing his wish not to leave the government as a failure. Now, he made this vow during the national security meeting at the presidential villa on Thursday. The national security advisor, Babagana Mongonos, who briefed the State House reporters after the meeting, basically said that the president expressed so much happiness over the success recorded so far by the security agencies in the fight against insurgents, against bandits, kidnappers, and other criminals in various parts of the country. He also mentioned the president also expressed his readiness to make some more changes in the security architecture of the country if necessary. Now, the president's statement that he will not leave his government, which will, of course, wrap up as we look forward to the 2023 elections, is with regards to the security situation in Nigeria. With the fact that a lot of insurgents have surrendered within the last few weeks. We also saw Nurek coming out to say that these people who are surrendering should be treated with some level of understanding. They should be forgiving and accepted back into the society. So this comment has come out with.
Now, take a look at the people on the right. Take a look. These are men that have done and committed crimes against the state. And there is this conversation, and I found it not only a little bit absurd, I found it totally absurd, wicked, satanic, to even for 1 second consider that these are men who took girls in Chibok, did unimaginable things to them. Some of them, as we now learned, have children. Some 2, some 3. Young children, their crime was that you sent them to school. 7 years later, they have 3 children. They have 2 children. And their father that kidnapped them. It's so sorry to call them fathers because they are monsters. The one that kidnapped them now come out with them, and we are here as a nation discussing about your government will not be a failure, and you don't want to exit the government a failure. At the same time, you want the government is ever for 1 second thinking that this mad, oh Jesus Christ, I'm just trying to stay calm, that these people should be allowed to walk free because they carry placards. Yet there are others from other regions that haven't done 1% of what these men have done, and you clamp them down. Some you renditioned, some you're about to, some you invaded their houses like thieves, and all of them now, yet we are one. I say this one, I no agree I know be part of this one. I know be one on this one. I know agree. Please drop me. I won't come out. I know do again, no be by force.
Mixed reactions, with people saying, well, we are in the year 2021, we're a few months into 2022. I mean, how much more can be done between now and then to really decide whether or not this government will be regarded as a success or a failure?
Well, I don't think anybody in their right minds actually wants President Buhari to fail. We all want him to succeed, and we all sincerely hope that he does. But whether
right mind or no right mind, listen, this is a government you came in, you campaigned 4 freaking times to become the president. You were given an opportunity when you told us that when you are elected, you're not going to leave the country and no one within your government should leave the country to go seek for medical help. But sadly, you became the president, you become the chief medical tourist officer. Not only that, you became the chief medical tourist officer, you promised to get people who have commingled state funds and jail them. What? We've seen how you've jailed everybody now. We've seen we are building new more prisons because the ones we have is full of looters. Is it not the same government that we see men who have stolen states blind? But because obviously, as the former party chairman said, once you join this party, your sins are forgiven. This is not me. This is the words of the khaki-wearing, Viagra-mounted former APC chairman that said it, not me. The khaki-wearing governor, one of his suit, I once saw it. The suit looked like something made by a carpenter, but that's on another level. And when you look at these things, you wonder. Laura Quinn is asking, what did you miss? You missed nothing, absolute nothing. We're just starting. Only thing you missed that we are no longer in the present. We are in the past participle. That's where we are now. We are in the past participle. Have you ever had something like that? For the benefit of those joining me now, let's go back to the past participle.
You will be a past participant. Yeah. Hey! Ebu agomia. One day we go here. Say yesterday you are a past. So very soon you shall be past. Party. One day, say tickle.
So yesterday was past. Today is party. Tomorrow is tickle. So we are going. Sorry. We are going into past participle. We are going into past participle. Okay? And that note, we are in the past participle and we are happiness more. Okay? So let's come back to the issue of discussion, which is that the President Muhammadu Buhari doesn't want to leave government a failure. Now, it's not within, it's just like someone starting primary 1. You are given a blank sheet of A4, foolscap to write on. So whatever you write on it is going to be what the teacher's going to judge you. So it's not the teachers that will write for you. So whether you want to be a failure or not, it's not for Mazi Ezoke or anyone watching me actually at this point to decide. It is left for you as the president to decide. How do you want to be remembered? You want to leave as a failure, or you want to stay and you want to eventually be remembered as a great man? The call is yours. But one thing is very clear, that whenever you talk about divisiveness as amongst those that have governed Nigeria, the current president would ever be remembered as one of those who, as some of his political associates would argue, will remain as one of those that have divided the nation the more. Let's listen to what Aristem has to say.
Not a government succeeds or fails is usually a post hoc exercise that is done with a bit of distance, with some hindsight, then you can look at the whole overview. And obviously, success or failure is also relative. But right now, what I will say is that I'm glad to hear that the president understands that there's pressure. His legacy has been written every day. He spoke in the context of security, which is extremely important, which is one of the things that got him into power. Some might argue the main promise that got him into power. And as we can see, the results so far have not been great. We appear to be turning a corner now, finally. And I hope that that momentum is maintained. Also, we have to look at the economy, about jobs created, environment for business. The president can point out programs like Anchor Borrowers and Empower and what have you. But what really is the business environment in Nigeria, especially now when a lot of youths are complaining about the strangling of the tech sector? That's also going to be the president's legacy. We can look at other things, even gender equality. What are the strides? The rule of law, what are the strides there? The electoral process, he has to build on his democratic legacy. Has he done that? Infrastructure, power, so many things. So we all do hope that he succeeds. As for Morek that you mentioned, I'm just really taken aback by that statement that you referred to, as saying how the repentant insurgents should be treated as brothers. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I have never heard of Morek or any other organization making any statement in support of women, girls who were abducted by Boko Haram and their innocent children that were born. When those girls finally escape or are released, they are stigmatized in their society. Their children are abused. I've never heard anybody come out from Morek or any of those other organizations in support of those girls. Yet they're vocal about coming out in support of criminals, frankly, which is what they are. And I find that really unfortunate.
Well, Professor Ishak Akintola is the spokesperson of Muslim Rights Concern, MURIC. And what he has said, he says we should treat repentant Boko Haram, fighters as brothers and welcome them. What he did not add is that, in fact, we should go and buy flowers and give them flowers and buy perfume. Tundun just returned from the United Kingdom, and we collect perfume, bottles of perfume from Tundun and douse the Boko Haram, terrorists with perfume and deodorize them. And I think that that's a scandalous statement to make. But he's not the first person to make.
Honestly, Abati, on this one, I give it to you. Honestly. We should perfume the pigs. We should actually give them flowers. People that have surrendered, all the job we need is to set up a beat tribunal, beat anything that will deliver quick surgical action. By now, the case is finito. By now, we should have finished the case. By now, we should have finished the case. And we are here debating. They are just telling us, oh, forgive them. Well, why won't we talk about forgiving them if we have a minister in the person of Minister of Digital, whatever, that tells us, that has certain thinking. But he comes out now and tells us, oh, he made those comments when he was young. So he's now old. A commissioner in Kano State is jubilating the other day. I'll be an essay or whatever. No, I think an essay. Jubilating the other day in Kano. Why? That the Taliban took over Kabul. Isn't that the mindset? The mindset that drives this manner of rubbish. It's really sad and tragic.
Professor Zulum, the governor of Borno State, also made a similar statement. And we have said repeatedly on this program that whereas internationally, yes, there's something about rehabilitation, reintegration, and all of that, but persons who have committed crime, we all need to be reminded that there's no statute of limitation on murder, on arson, on kidnapping. There are laws in this country. So it's not enough to come and tell us that, persons who have committed murder, they should be given jollof rice, as they have been doing, and the government of Nigeria should use taxpayers' money to equip their wardrobe and also give them money. Look, a day will come.
It's not even about equipping their wardrobe. Do you know the one that baffles me? Whenever, who makes these ready-made clothes ready? That the moment they come, you see them matching. All of them, if it's white, if it's brown, if it's khaki, they match. Who makes those clothes ready? I think, I don't know, whoever they give that contract, their sizes, they all know their sizes. Nah, man, make who they think, all these people, make una they fear God, make una fear God, there is God, there is God, there is God, Principal, now only you waka come, there is God, there is God. In everything we are doing, all this jollof rice you're sharing, there is God.
In this country, when a Boko Haram fighter will become a governor or a local government chairman, if it has not started happening yet, and that will be an assault on the sensibility of the average Nigerian, indeed on the rule of law. So opinion is divided on this, and I've been quoting Mrs. Oluwaseun Sakaba, the wife of Lieutenant Colonel I. Sakaba, who was killed by these Boko Haram fighters. And the woman on social media has asked a question. If you are giving terrorists your love rights, then what happens to people like her who lost their husbands? What happens to all the people in internally displaced persons camps who lost their parents, who became orphans? This is the dilemma. This is the irony of the Nigerian situation. And it's shocking that educated people, professors, will be the ones, providing themselves as a spokesperson for what apparently doesn't align with common sense. Now, second point, the one you raised about President Buhari saying he will not end up as a failure. Well, it was a reported speech. It was the National Security Advisor.
Abadi, thank you. Let me halt you there. I think my lady is back with fire. Our Lara Queen, thank you very much for the super chat. What shall we do for you? Who are applause for you? Thank you very much. So, Ruben Abati, you can now continue.
General Babagana Munguno giving a report after the president met yesterday with service chiefs. And he was saying the president has told them that he will do whatever he can do about security. He will not end up a failure, and whatever it takes. Well, I guess nobody goes there to be president of Nigeria to end up as a failure.
But you make yourself a failure.
Anybody who wants to be president of Nigeria will want to make a difference. And that's why perhaps politicians, whether they are presidents or governors, they like to be loved by the people. When you praise them, they are very happy. But when you criticize them, they are very at the point that President Muhammadu Buhari said, this is the point where you should begin to build a legacy, because this is not Zambia. This is not some other countries where people will say they want to have a third term. Nigerians will not accept that.
Exactly. It's two terms. So listen up without sounding much divergent here. It's very simple. You can't give what you don't have. Something you haven't built in 6 years. Something you haven't built in 6.5 years. Sorry, let's be realistic. You cannot build it in 15 months. This government is left with virtually 14, 15 months, because by October, November next year, that's it, finito. But October next year, that's all you'll be hearing is party primaries. That's it. Governance, anything that has to do with governance takes a flight. That is finished. So tell me, those things you haven't done all this while. Sorry, I read a comment. This lady says she needs a customized half shimmy. Sorry, I can only do customized on your dot. And Onye Nimo that was asking about the customized on your dot. I told you, this T-shirt is in the United Kingdom right now. You have the L, double XL, medium, and the rest have white, blue, like this gray color that I have. there is a slight confusion. Someone actually ordered this T-shirt from London, and then it was sent to him. He said he didn't want this. He thought the red one I used to wear, that is in ginger media, that is in ginger media, not on your dog. So sorry for that confusion, and the person in question will promise to basically give a full refund. And if you were watching me again, that's what it's going to be, because this is the ones we have. There is one coming on the mesh section that is going to be hooded for some of us in the cold areas of Europe and far away Americans, even some South Africans. Okay, so it's going to be only front, because we like it front, we don't like it back. Don't think of other things. I mean it. I like it, not back. So if you have warped mind now, you might be thinking of other things. But having said that, we'll come back to the conversation about the president. Think about it. Yes, nobody comes into governance to fail, but anything that has to do with failure or success is yours. People, again, thanks a lot of Queen for the super chat. Bear in mind, today is Friday, and when we have Friday conversations, we drink something. So make sure you have your own something. Something. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be water, tea, and wine. I have my own, My tapa is good from Udi. Perhaps one of the best. Any of you, whenever you come down in this part of the world, just holler me. Let's meet at the Tinker's Corner. I will surprise you with something beautiful that you will never forget. Okay, so let's go back to this conversation.
So President Buhari's administration is in a phase now where he should begin to put a fence around what he has been able to achieve. And he engaged Nigerians on 3 issues: security, economy, fight against corruption. Okay, along the line, they've added infrastructure to it. Yes, Nigerians will take account. Nigerians will write the story. And that's why we keep arguing that no government, whether it's the Buhari government or any other government, should be insensitive or emotional about criticism. Because when the tenure ends, the people of Nigeria will be here, they will remember, they will write the story. Efforts at revisionism that we have seen in some instances, most recently last week, grand effort at revisionism, in one regard. They've been abusing me, so I don't want to start another fresh attack. Has not worked, because the people will always remember. So those who are advising President Muhammadu Buhari, they must realize that they are in a legacy phase, and they have to move very quickly. For a man who tried 4 times before he got that office, he certainly must put a legacy in place, and it must be properly defined for a conversation around those issues. They are not yet defining those conversations. His advisors are causing more problems. Going to reopen open grazing and gazetting the ungazetted over open grazing, that's like sabotaging the president.
It's also nonsense.
But anyway, that's enough now.
Actually, don't be surprised that Murik and other bodies are saying this. You know why I say don't be surprised? It is something happening already. You say bandits and Boko Haram terrorists, to get to a point they start taking taxpayers' money. The question I want to ask is, are they not taking taxpayers' money again?
They're ready now. Again, my brother, aren't they? Yesterday we were in the past. Today we are in the past. Tomorrow we are in the participle. That is what is happening here.
The Operation Safe Corridor, is it not the same Nigerian taxpayer money they used to buy clothes for them and feed them?
Ask me,
and to rehabilitate them? We say, it will get to say Boko Haram or bandits are going to hold elective. Are they not stating in the north that their commissioner were former bandits?
Oh dear, we suddenly act as if we don't know. These are things we know. These are things we know. Taliban took over. Someone still in government is jubilating. Yeah, they are in power. And we are here flexing and deceiving ourselves.
We all know those states. Why are we deceiving ourselves in this country? It is obvious that we welcome terrorists in this country.
We do.
It's a country that is loving of terrorists. And that's why I'm not surprised that they say we should open hands and say they are our brothers. In fact, I can bring a Yoruba drum and say, Kaabo, Shida Daludi, for these terrorists. Because that's the nation we are building. We don't tell ourselves the truth. But we forget that there are farmers that are being killed in Zabam. Were killed. Nothing was. We forget that people are in IDP camps. The other day, UN was saying they can't even take births records of people in IDP camp. Do you think people that are staying in IDP camp love it so much? And so people are saying we should welcome terrorists and celebrate them and treat them as our brothers, isn't it? Yeah, they are our brothers, isn't it? Brothers in crime or in the struggle of Nigeria. I'm not going to be surprised when they start to run for political position. The same Governor Zulum that is talking, why didn't he say, oh, come and power share with me now? When bandits declare their own region.
Hey, Rufai. Apply break. Jailbreak there. Do not put ideas in his brain. Nothing surprises me again. In as much as I like Zulum for being very energetic and doing and putting service to his people, if you put ideas to his head, they can share power. We're here in I see how Afghanistan, 300,000 soldiers, 300,000 soldiers, close to $2 trillion spent. 20 years training a people, building a government. It took less than 7 hours. 300,000 soldiers discarded, lowered their arms, helicopters, armored tanks to people who came with rackety Toyota Hiluxes and ran. You think it's because they cannot fight them. Yet these are people paid proper money. American taxpayers' money. They abandoned it. These things are not them. So if you're here shouting, don't let Zulung come to the idea of power sharing, please, because it might not go
Done in the states. See, this was the way the Taliban started.
Oh,
let's never forget that. And we are getting to the point very soon. As regards who doesn't want to be a failure, we don't want anybody to be a failure. But ask yourself the perennial question: was your life better in 2015 than it is today?
No. Okay, people. Now, because if I say no, all of you will say, Mazi, because you are the presenter, that's why you're saying no. Let's take a poll. Go to the comment section. Tell me, is your life better in 2021? I think, let's mark myself. I will nearly talk about 2018 because I think I'm in 2018. I never knew that I've lost 3 years already. So is your life better in 2018? Let's do the poll. This is live here. So you watching me from the government house, you watching me, you've left Madam now, you've gone to Zaza room so that you can watch my okay now. You are going to see the poll now. You see the poll, people will say, it's no lie. People will see and tell us if they are better. Someone here said that Nigeria is generating 4,000 megawatts, okay? And that was Latunji. Latunji, thank you very much. Says that Nigeria is producing only 4,000 megawatts. No, I don't think it's 4,000 megawatts. I don't think that is the right thing. I think what we do is that we distribute 4,000 megawatts. We produce more, but we're not able to evacuate all what we do. I think we produce about 7,200, but only about able to evacuate about 4,000 to 4,280, according to the data sources Enugu Disco. Okay, so now if we look at this, now compare that to a South Africa that is much, 20% of our population, if at all, is up to 20%. But they produce 50,000 megawatts for the 4 million people. We produce, Giant of Africa, working on mosquito limb, producing something less than 7,000, being able to, distribute 4,000, sometimes much less. That's why people, for us to do whatever we do, we install solar and we say, waka to you, chop your NEPA, stick it somewhere up there. Because what's the essence? You can't do anything. You just all you see is blinking, is blinking, is blinking. One NEPA, you want to do something, it's sometimes half current, quarter current, full current. How can you do anything with this kind of nonsense? Eh? Everything is doing like this.
Our
doing
economic
like this.
is doing like this. It's doing like this. It's blinking, shaking, blinking.
It's blinking, shaking, it's blinking, shaking. Like someone who drank 5 cans of fermented burkutu, jammed it with kunu. What kind of entity does it that way? What kind of nation, allows people to get? Oh, okay. Let me know. So the vote is out. The vote is out. Before we continue, let's get these votes out. A lot of people says, Mazi, it's expensive to install solar in Ebola. No, it's not. I mean, obviously, you are in England with £2,000, you would install close to 5 kVA. That's solar panel, workmanship, everything done. 2,000 quick. That's not much, honestly. And you forget all these, they are rubbish. NEPA with Oku. It's nobody's freaking business, So now, answer is no. You see, look at the comment section. Is no, no, no. Everybody is saying no, 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 no. It's shockingly no, meaning the nation, that everyone knows it, is not working.
Do you have affordable health care in 2015 and it is today? Didn't we hear the news that they say 4,000 doctors left Nigeria in the space of 4 years? Aren't doctors on strike every time? Don't we have these challenges? I hear we have to go to break. But if your life is better in 2015 than today, then you can tell for yourself.
Well, let's take a quick break on the morning show. When we get back, we'll speak on some more trending topics.
So now, before we do, anyway, we would allow them go for a moment. Now, let's look at these same Boko Haram guys that have confessed. You see, my point, my anger actually, is that these are people who have confessed. We are the people that did this. Now look at them. Look at them. You see, this time around they are being moved in green, white, green bus. Eh? Who does all this rubbish actually? They are being moved in communities. Now tell me, some women in this community may have been violated by these men. Some women, some kids in this community may have been, their dads, their moms, their guardians may have been killed by some of these commanders and men in these trucks. Take, for instance, any of our siblings, parents, daughter, whatever, is a victim, and you are looking at those men, rather than be moving them in this type of truck to their detention centers, and we are likely moving them to where they will write an apology letter. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. It is daily unbelievable. When I say, I mean it, unbelievable. That's what it is. On the other note, we heard, obviously what's happening in America, and Joe Biden was asked, what are you going to do if, the timeline given for the evacuation of his countrymen and women is not met? What it was, what's his stake? And obviously, expectedly so, this is his own view. Let's quickly bring that on here. So I just quickly need to go to that section. Okay, no, sorry. Before.
Because we've got like 10 to 15,000.
Hold on.
Correspondents say that even with the accelerated pace of the evacuation, it's starting to look like the US won't meet its deadline.
And by the way, whether US is meeting its deadline is not meeting its deadline, I hope all of you know that this weekend actually, everybody is is it Bichi or whatever it's called? They're all gone there to celebrate what's it called? Buhari's son marriage, right? Look at them. So when we tell you do not fight for your oppressors, because look at them here. This is Atiku tweeting. Who is there? Atiku with Goodluck Jonathan. If you look at the other side, you will see Femi Fani Kayode. You will see what's it called? Yeye Bello. You know, you will see Yeye Bello, and on the other side, you will see Muhammadu Buhari. Even Buba Galadima, the electric fish, that is firing from all cylinders, criticizing all of them. When it comes to this point, they all gather together. Do not kill yourself for these men. It's a warning. Do not kill yourself for these men. Fight for yourself. All of them. When the chips are down, they all come together and they do their merriment. So you, if you have hated your brother, if you had killed your brother because of all these men, then now your own mumu be, according to Charlie Bird, now factory fitted. Honestly, now that one now follow come.
Everything in our power to get all Americans out and our allies out.
Does that mean troops will stay beyond August 31st if necessary?
It depends on where we are and whether we can ramp these numbers up to 5,000 to 7,000 a day coming out. If that's the case, they'll all be out.
Because we've got like 10 to 15,000 Americans in the country right now, right? And are you committed to making sure that the troops stay until every American who wants to be out is out?
Yes.
So Americans should understand that troops might have to be there beyond August 31st.
No, Americans should understand that we're going to try to get it done before August 31st.
But if we don't, the troops will stay.
If we don't, we'll determine at the time who's left.
So obviously what you can see here is you're looking at the president trying to give clarity what's going to happen if by so time there is no if what's going to happen if all Americans don't get out by the time initially agreed.
And
if there are American forces, if there's American citizens left, we're going to stay till we get them all out.
President Biden, well, Setar Mengli is a...
But at the end of the day, do not die, as someone has said here, do not die in their words. Do not die. Do not be a fool. Do not die in their words. Do not die in their words. Now, this is the correspondent from Rise TV reporting direct from Kabul. Let's hear what he has to say from Kabul.
Well, yes, Charles, there has been a lot of struggle and rush to the Kabul airport. There are thousands of people waiting outside the airport, and there has been thousands of people evacuated as well. But still, there are many people, thousands of people waiting outside the airport with paper or without paper. Some of the locals have just ran to the airport just to get into any plane and get out. The situation is deteriorating as the American and the Taliban forces firing warning shots to disperse the crowd, but people are just rushing to every gate of the Kabul airport.
Well, I mean, just help us drill down further into that, because we just heard President Biden in that clip admitting that American troops are having difficulty getting Afghan civilians who worked with the U.S. and indeed American citizens as well out of the country. I mean, as you said, reports of hundreds of families gathered outside the airport pleading with American officials to let them in. Some flights, I understand, being stopped due to Taliban interference. I mean, tell us more about what you've been witnessing, because from where we are, it sounds like an absolutely desperate situation.
Well, yes, it is a desperate situation, but we haven't heard of any reports that Taliban are stopping people to go to the airport. But they are trying to manage people in the gates of the airport because there are thousands of people in.
Now, is to tell you how hopeless, I mean, I will stop it here, to tell you how hopeless the whole situation is. You are not stopping people from flying, yet you have been unable to convince people that you're not going to do to them that which they fear. You have not been able to assuage their fears. People are running away, running helter skelter, back front, anyhow. Yet you've been unable to assuage their fears. It is honestly heartbreaking to say the least that people until last week never ever envisaged that they will eventually be in this boat. Before I start taking your calls, which we wouldn't take for so long, let's wrap it up with this viewpoint from Atiku. Let's hear what you think. On this note, I would try to hold my view without saying anything and let hear your view if you do believe him as to what he is presenting.
Is calling for restructuring of Nigeria, which he believes will lead to national development. He accuses the present administration of unbuilding the nation by taking conscious and deliberate actions that not only make nation building more difficult, but also undo the achievements made in that regard by previous administration.
In my view, we must restructure our country in a manner that allows various segments to develop at their own pace and not be held back by the center or other segments. Development cannot wait for nation building. In fact, neither development nor nation building needs wait for the other. Development can indeed help in nation building. We can walk and talk at the same time. I find it amusing when people declare Nigeria's unity as fixed and non-negotiable while doing everything in their power to destroy that fragile unity. Nothing in the relationships among people is fixed for eternity. You cannot declare your marriage as non-negotiable while doing everything to sow seeds of discomfort in that marriage. Countries can be created by force. You can whip groups of people into forming a country, but you cannot whip them into forming a nation.
The Ekiti State Governor, Kayode Fayemi, who was present at the book launch, however.
Well, again, now, that will be the talking point. Do you believe Atiku in that restructuring that he called for? Do you? Let us use that as our talking point. Atiku suddenly, close to the election, he comes back. He becomes a Sunday medicine. Somehow, close to the election, comes back, tells us he stands for restructuring. Well, without details. If one asks the question now, as they say, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. What is it that we are expecting? What is the content? Do you believe him? Now it's time to make that call. The number to call, only WhatsApp only, is +234. That is Nigeria 708-004-2206. So we have more 10 minutes to be here together. So make your call, and if you're putting your call across, make it snappy. So many people, even those in the chat room, are saying no, we don't believe him. We do not believe. Paponia Dot says, I don't. Empty promises. He's been the vice president for a very long time, and nothing came out of it. Well, vice president, as they call them, they are spare tires. So, do you expect spare tires to be front runners, basically. I mean, if we are being real, if we are being objective, you just like expecting Professor Yemi Osibanjo to probably be a miracle worker as it concerns the government as of today. Do you think that is, palatable? Chisom says another scam. Now political. You all of you don't have respect for your elders. How can you be saying that you don't believe your elders? Jesus. Huh? How can you say this one says no, nobody should believe deceivers, and that's political talk. Chisom says is a scam, another scam again. And this one says, could Atiku tell us who he knows about? Tell us what he knows about Aburi. About Aburi, we stand by the Biafrans. Change cannot come from same people that are the pro. It is indeed refreshing to note that many of you really do not buy the what the elite are basically saying, or rather, what the vice president is saying in this case. Hmm? We don't expect Judas to suddenly start giving out money. But they give out money. Don't even go there. Don't even bring them to ideas. Okay. So once more, this is still Friday Hangout with Mazes. Okay, please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, quickly and do so. Many of you are watching without liking the video. Why, if I may ask? You haven't liked the video? Do me a favor, share, like, and subscribe in that order. Share, like, and subscribe if you haven't done so. So now we will be bringing it up to a close. And if you ask me honestly, I think Atiku's probably approach to these issues, kind of leaves a lot to be desired. I put it that way. Leaves a lot to be desired. I would have preferred a situation where, uh, you know, where details are given as to, when we talk about this restructuring, how is it going to be? Is it going to be pushing for something close to 1963 with current realities, where we would develop at our own pace in our various regions, not just by mounting it, but putting it in context and dropping the document with timeline? Are we able to do that with timeline? To say on so date, this is what we'll be expecting. No, none of them would be able to do that, because at the end of the day, the same caro they played us in the same caro. They also want to keep playing. You remember during the time of Shagari, second Niger Bridge was one of the issues that was used as campaign. In 2019, no, sorry, 1999, second Niger Bridge was part of the campaign. Even during General Badamosi, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, second Niger Bridge was part of the one of the things that ought to be done for the people of the Southeast. In 2003, 2007, 2011, and even in 2015, it still was. 2019, just 2 years ago, you think it didn't? No, of course, it made headlines again. But this time around, oh, we have done XYZ. Don't worry. This time, we'll finish it. We'll show you. Stop showing me. I want to see it. Stop showing me. Stop showing me. People, on that note, I would say thank you very much for being part of this conversation this evening. It's been wonderful having you for the last couple of minutes. Now, for the last 59 minutes, it's going to be 1 hour, and we want to start stopping the programs at 1 hour. On that note, I say thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the likes. Keep sharing and sharing. On that note, I say once more, good night, good morning, good evening, and I am proudly Onye Dot. And I say to you, I am happiness more. Good night.
I represent and symbolize all the characteristics of a typical Igbo man. Yes, I've learned to be more Igbotic than I ever expected. As an Igbo man, I've perfected the act of being tenacious in any dream that I chase. To be industrious, be consistent, and powerfully focused. All the lessons I learned from the brothers in the tribe have made me dogged, hardworking, and exhibiting the ability and the capacity to survive in any kind of weather. Yes, I am an original Wafo.